All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, all honor, and all praise be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Next of honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And this is just a quick video through the Spirit to blow the trumpet in Zion, okay, because right now we're in a time of war. All right, that's Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. You just got to discern the times that we're in. And this prophecy is starting to pop off the page, okay, and this is vital and key to understand. All right, the whole thing about World War III, okay, this prophecy right here, and Lord willing, and get some edification on it. Just a quick breakdown, just to go over it. So this is Joel 2:20. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things." Okay, so this is talking about is, I will remove far off from you the northern army. Okay, so we understand right now that the children of Israel and the children of Judah are in captivity here in North America, here in Babylon the Great. All right, let's get Jeremiah 50:33. Okay, this is, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." Okay, now this chapter, Jeremiah 50, is a prophetic chapter getting into a prophecy against Babylon. But this is talking about Babylon the Great, okay, that's ultimately going to be decimated and made desolate through the ICBM missiles, okay, that are going to get shot off during World War III. Okay, and America's going to lose. Let's get this. That's Zechariah 2:5, 2:6. Okay, this is Zechariah 2:6. It says, "Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord." Okay, this is speaking about North America, because the children of Israel and the children of Judah, both northern and southern kingdom, are captive here in Babylon the Great, okay, here in America. "For I have spread you abroad as the four winds as heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest in the daughter of Babylon." So this is how we know that it's talking about a new Babylon and not Neo-Babylon. Okay, and also in Neo-Babylon and ancient Babylon, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were not in captivity together. Okay, you just had the southern kingdom that went through the Babylonian captivity, the Medo-Persian captivity, the Greeks, and ultimately the Romans. Okay, because the northern kingdom left the Assyrian captivity and came over here to the Americas. But I got that to go back to Joel 2:20 so you can understand. Read it one more time. Joel 2:20, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army." Okay, so the Lord, he's going to remove the North American army. Okay, the northern army is the army of Babylon the Great. Okay, the modern term for it is, I guess, deploy. So the Lord is going to deploy the U.S. troops and take them into the land of Yahweh Shaphat, okay, which is over here, okay, in this region in the Middle East. You see that? And the scripture gives us coordinates on how it's going to go. All right, Joel 2:20, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land that's barren and desolate." And that land that's barren and desolate is talking about the region near Saudi Arabia, okay? Because right now you have angels, okay, that are drying up the Euphrates River, okay, to make way for the kings of the east to come through, okay? Because what Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is doing, he's essentially using these nations as, you know, like little, think about it like little green army men, because the Lord is the Father of spirits. The Lord controls everything. Okay, this is his movie. So what the Lord is doing, he's going to gather all these nations to this region so he can judge them. Okay, let's get this real quick. All right, this is Joel 3:2. It says, "I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat." Okay, so this means Yahweh's judgment. Okay, so this is the place where the Lord is going to judge all these nations. Okay, and this is where World War III is going to kick off. And we understand at the end of World War III that Yahweh Shai is going to come back. And while they're fighting each other, they're going to try to stop fighting each other, and they're going to try to subdue the heavenly force, okay, of Yahushai, Michael, and the rest of the heavenly hosts, the thousands of heaven that are going to come with our Lord Yahushai. They're going to try to fight him, and they're going to lose very bad. It's going to get ugly, okay? The Lord's not even going to have to lift a finger. But all this is going to happen in the valley of Yahushaphat. Joel 3:2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahushaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, and we see this happening right now. Okay, this is why you have a lot of air conflict, a lot of bombings, okay, with Israel, U.S., and Iran. Okay, but eventually it's going to escalate more and more. Okay, it's going to escalate to a point where China, Russia, and other nations are going to have to get involved on the side of Iran to come against Babylon the Great, which is the U.S. and Israel. Okay, and Israel and Babylon the Great are going to get nuked, but Israel will be rebuilt back up. But Babylon the Great, once they get nuked, once the ICBM missiles hit this place, it's going to be completely desolate. America's going to get destroyed. All right. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And we see this happening right now. Okay, there's a great war spirit, and the Lord, he's raising up that ancient spirit back in these Eastern nations to not give a damn about Babylon the Great. These Eastern nations, they're used to bombings, they're used to war, they're used to, things of this nature. But the West, Babylon the Great in the scriptures is called tender and delicate. Okay, it hasn't really lost any major war, okay, and the pride of their heart is deceiving thee. This is why the American Edomite, as the scriptures say, they have a look more stout than their fellows because they believe that they can't get touched. Okay, so let's go back to Joel 2:20. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. The Lord is going to take them to the valley of Yahushaphat. Okay, the troops, the U.S. military is going to be deployed over to that region and will drive them into a land that is barren and desolate, talking about the region over there by Saudi Arabia, with his face towards the EC and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. Okay, so let's go back. And with their face towards the EC, it's talking about the Euphrates. Okay, which is a little blurry, but you can see the Euphrates above Iraq right here. All right. So it's essentially giving you coordinates how the Lord is going to pull, how the Lord's going to make them pull up. You know how they say that in the world, you got to pull up. Well, the Lord is going to make them pull up to the valley of Yahushaphat. And it's telling you that their face is going to be towards the Euphrates and their hinder part is going to be towards the utmost sea. And the utmost sea is this Red Sea right here. You see that? So this is the positioning. This is the coordinates. Okay, this is the area where Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is going to lead the northern army for them ultimately to be snared and taken. Okay, because anybody that's getting deployed to this region, they're not coming back. They're going to be a part of that Middle Eastern soil. Okay, because the Lord, it's his indignation, okay, for the controversy of Zion to bring these nations here and to make them fight them, to make them fight each other. Okay, but ultimately it's going to lead to Yahushua coming back. Okay, and them trying to fight him. So let's all right, and the last part of this verse, and his ill savor shall come up because he had done great things, and this is talking about the North American army. Okay, the ill savor is the smell from the carcasses and the dead bodies that are going to be piled up over there in that region. Okay, and if you go back to Joel, the 3rd chapter, and you can read this right here. Joel 3:11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, that they cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay, and that's happening right now. Okay, so the Lord is gathering the heathen, like it says in Isaiah the 34th chapter. Okay, so no, they cannot be saved. The Lord is going to judge them in World War III, and he's going to lead them down to the valley of Yahushaphat. So right now, this is what's happening right now. Okay, and it's going to eventually lead to these things with God Emperor Nero talking all this mess, like Babylon can't be touched, but they're going to lose World War III. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahushaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And this is exactly what's going to happen. Okay? This is exactly what's going to happen to these nations when they get brought into this valley. All right? Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Revelation 16 and 12. It says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Okay, so there's an angel. All right, there's also an angel holding back the nuclear destruction, okay, until all the prophecies be fulfilled, until the elect get sealed as well. And understand that this war cannot pop off next week. The war cannot pop off next month. Okay, we understand what has to happen before any major war pops off. The RFID micro CHIP has to be mandate in the earth. Okay, they have to push that chip. So this is the comfort of prophecy through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, because we already know how this is going to go, because the Lord gave us the insight. Okay, and he gave it to our elders and our apostles and our bishops on down to the great millstone. Okay, and now we're coming in those labors, Lord willing, we be those men. So we understand no major war can pop off. It's not like America, Babylon the Great is going to get bombed tomorrow and it's over. No, the CHIP has to be instated first before World War III pops off. Okay, 90, 99, 98% of the world has to get chipped. Then the major war will start. Okay, but the Lord is moving things fast. This is Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So there's an angel over there, okay, and ultimately that the great river Euphrates over there in that region is being dried up, so the Lord can bring them. Remember, like the green army action figures, the Lord is going to move their spirits and pull them to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. They're not in control. You see that? So when we see these war escalations, when we see these things happen, we understand it's going to lead to this. Okay. Is going to lead to World War III. All right. So just wanted to touch on it real quick. Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. I want to end up by giving all glory, all honor, and all praise be to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Next, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwame Yasharallah, abide with Ball, keep the faith. Shalom.